My childhood was kind of rough. I lived with my mom and stepdad. We were really poor, and it seemed like we moved every few months. My best memories as a child come from being with my grandparents. School was hard because we were so poor that I usually got made fun of a lot. I really didn't feel good about myself, and then I learned I was adopted. That caused me serious self-esteem issues because neither biological parent made an effort to find me or be involved in my life. I thought something had to be wrong with me. I always had problems understanding where I fit in. In high school, I tried drugs and cigarettes and alcohol for the first time and found something that made me feel good about myself. That day I started what would become a 20-year addiction that would wreck my entire life. I made it to high school barely. I was about to flunk out when I switched to night school. I would excel there, graduating at the top of my class and president of student council. A few of us decided to throw a big party, buying as many drugs as we could get. And that graduation party turned into a 6-month binge, at the end of which would see me pulled over and arrested for possessing a half a gram of meth. I was about to become a felon and get sent to one of the worst prisons in the state of North Carolina. I was in complete despair and did not want to live anymore. I attempted suicide before my life was even really started. My mom and stepdad had come home early and found me, then rushed me to the hospital. I got 12 stitches and was sent to Grace in Morganton for a mental health evaluation. I stayed there a month before I was released. Soon after my court date came, and I'd messed up my chance at probation, so I was sentenced to 6 to 8 months in prison. I got out and continued with bad decisions. I went back to work when I got out because that seemed to be the one thing I could consistently do. Then in 2005, my son was born on Christmas Eve. Being adopted, I always vowed I would be there and try to be the best dad I could be. I have become a complete mess, not living, just existing. I was taking all kinds of pills because I liked the way they made you numb. You really didn't have to feel anything. I'd been homeless at times, sleeping in my car, on dirt roads or wherever, lonely and afraid. I felt my life had become so broken it was beyond repair. Once again, I was in complete darkness, consumed by sin. In that moment, I thought I only had one option to salvage anything in my life. I remembered going to church at Green League with my grandma when I was a little boy and learning about Jesus. In desperation, completely broken, I started walking towards the church on that overcast Wednesday. I reluctantly walked in and met Pastor Jack Sammons. That meeting would change my life forever. I explained to him the mess my life was and that I needed help. He didn't turn me away. He didn't judge me. Instead, he asked, "Have you ever been saved?" I replied, "No," and told him I wanted to be. We prayed together for Jesus to save me, and I prayed with my entire heart. When we were done, we were weeping, hugging, and rejoiced. My heart was changed in August 2010 through Jesus, and ever since, God has used people who love Him to help change my life. After I was saved is when I faced some of the hardest battles of my life. I ended up at the methadone clinic trying to deal with an 8-year pill addiction and get clean, but leaving that place will be my biggest battle to date with any drug I'd ever done. I remember thinking, I can't do this, it's too hard. It's just too hard, I can't. My wife, being amazing as she is, told me I could do it. She believed in me and to pray. I prayed for strength and for God to help me, because if the problem didn't kill me, the remedy was going to. I made it through, but in a last-ditch effort to hold on to a piece of the old me and not turn my life completely over to God, I started drinking heavily because I didn't know how to live my life completely sober. I was done. I was not the man I wanted to be, and I hadn't given God the entire 100% I should have. I was saying, God, you can have 90% and I will keep this 10%. Not long after he got that 10%, and I've allowed him to do with my life as he pleases ever since. These past 3 years have been the best of my life. Do I still struggle? Sure, not so much with drugs and alcohol, but Satan is always trying to cause chaos in my life. The difference, God has never left me, and I know he never will, or I wouldn't be here today. He provides me with a way out always. My family has been healed. I have become the father, husband, leader I always wanted to be. I am able to effectively lead other young men God has placed in my life. I am a man of integrity and honor now. My heart and my home are filled with love.